My husband Adam and I had been married for 7 years. We weren't perfect. No one is. But we were close. We told each other everything, or so I thought. We had a son, Ethan, who was the light of our lives. Adam was a dedicated father, and we'd built a home filled with love and laughter. At least, that's how it seemed. But a month ago, little things started to change. It began with strange items appearing around the house. I'd find my grandmother's favorite candies tucked into drawers, even though she didn't live with us at the time. Then there was the dog costume, a full-body suit that I found stuffed in the back of the guest room closet. When I asked Adam about it, he said it was an old Halloween costume, but I couldn't recall him ever wearing it, and the idea of him in it felt wrong. We only started dressing up for Halloween after Ethan was born, and this costume didn't appear in any of our photos. It wasn't just the items. Adam's behavior began to shift. He became more guarded, especially with his phone. He'd laugh at messages but wouldn't share what was funny. He started staying late at work, excusing it as deadlines piling up. When I asked if everything was okay, he'd reassure me, but his words felt hollow. I told myself it was just my imagination, but the doubts kept creeping in. Then my grandmother moved in with us. It was meant to be temporary, just to make it easier when she watched Ethan. At first, I felt a sense of relief having her around, but soon the strange occurrences shifted. The candies I'd been finding elsewhere were now in her room. I started noticing that she and Adam seemed unusually close. I tried to dismiss it, telling myself I was reading too much into things, but the feeling in my gut wouldn't go away. One day, I decided to test my instincts. I told everyone I'd be taking Ethan to the park and that we'd be out late. Instead, I dropped Ethan off at my sister's house and headed back home. I parked down the street and quietly slipped in through the back window. My heart was pounding as I tiptoed through the house. First, I checked the guest room where Grandma was staying. Empty. Then I moved toward the master bedroom. And that's when I heard voices. I pushed open the door and froze. There they were, Adam and my grandmother in our bed. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. My chest tightened, and for a moment, I couldn't breathe. "What the hell is this?" I shouted, my voice shaking with rage and disbelief. They both jumped, scrambling to cover themselves. Adam's face went pale, and Grandma, she just looked at me, her expression somewhere between guilt and defiance. "Claire, I can explain," Adam stammered, but I didn't want to hear it. "Explain? Explain what?" I demanded. "That you've been sneaking around with my grandmother in our bed while our son is under this roof?" Adam tried to approach me, but I held up a hand to stop him. "Don't," I said, my voice cold. "Don't you dare come near me." Grandma finally spoke, her voice soft. "Claire, it's not what it looks like." I laughed bitterly. "Not what it looks like? You're holding my pillow and doing that with my husband. What could it possibly be if not what it looks like?" The room fell silent. I looked at both of them, searching for any sign of remorse, but all I saw was shame and weakness. "I trusted you," I said, my voice breaking. "Both of you. And this is how you repay me?" I turned on my heel and walked out. I didn't pack a bag. I didn't grab anything but my keys. I drove straight to my sister's house and picked up Ethan. "We're going on a little trip," I told him, forcing a smile I didn't feel. We crossed state lines that night, staying at a motel until I could figure out our next steps. The days that followed were a blur of emotions: anger, heartbreak, confusion. How could they do this to me? To Ethan? I replayed every moment in my mind, searching for clues I might have missed. Were there signs all along? Or was I blind because I trusted them so completely? Eventually, Adam started calling. I let the phone ring. He sent texts, emails, even a letter. In each one, he begged for forgiveness, claimed it was a mistake, a moment of weakness. But how do you forgive something like that? How do you move past such a profound betrayal? I still don't have all the answers. I don't know if I ever will. What I do know is that I deserve better. Ethan deserves better. And while the pain hasn't gone away, it's become a little more bearable each day. So now I'm asking you, whoever's listening, What would you have done in my shoes? Could you forgive something like this? Or was leaving the only option? Let's talk about it. Because trust, once broken, is almost impossible to rebuild. And sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you can do.